Marcus Hansen from FTF Canada, and you're listening to the Football Weekly podcast.
Wow, Joel, we started our podcast, new season 8, live from Soccer Max last week. I want to thank Vince Mercurio. I want to thank Max himself and our buddy Ross, big Juve, Roma, and a Juve fan, 2 Juve fans and a Roma fan, for joining us for our live broadcast. We've gotten started. We feel the itch. We're getting excited. Transfer window's almost closing. Our teams are, well, both of our teams are top of the table, Joe. Maybe not yours today. But yeah, man, it's everything's looking good. The seasons are crazy. There's so much to talk about. We missed a lot while we were at Max's, but we'll make up for it tonight.
Yeah, we will make up for it. We're gonna talk a lot about the European scene for sure. And Reggie's wearing a TFC shirt. I'm in my TFC red, but Reggie with the TFC shirt. So we're gonna talk a lot about TFC as well, and we'll get it right into it.
Yeah, I mean. Well, we'll start in the EPL, I think, Joe.
Oh, have to. Unbelievable, Reggie. I mean, even today's results, Reg, like Chelsea, who we picked, I think we both said would not finish in the top 4. I don't know why.
Yeah, I said that.
Listen, season's long.
Yeah,
but they can't. This game today, they lose to Southampton. Not an easy place to go to. Nowhere is easy to go to in the EPL. I get it, but. I mean, Raheem Sterling as your striker, yes, scored a goal. But what has changed? They had Timo Werner, who they didn't really think was a striker, so they get rid of him. Kai Havertz.
Banging goals, by the way.
Yeah, they need a proper 9, right? And so Raheem's scoring. He's scoring. Raheem's scoring. But there's something off about Chelsea, right, Reg?
Well, yeah, I said in the beginning that when even last show when we were at Max's, I said, listen, there's nothing Chelsea has done this season that's going to make me say, oh my God. Man City got Haaland, and it's just like, oh, well, you got to look out for him. We'll talk about what United's doing, what did Tottenham do that made them better. Basuma, I guess. I don't know. People say Richarlison. I don't rate him, but Chelsea hasn't done anything to get better. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be afraid of this Chelsea anymore. There's no Drogba there where it's just like, oh my God, we got to play this. There's nobody there that I'm worried about at all.
I think there's I think with Chelsea, just what I think is that there's so many players that we don't know if they're really happy to be there. There's so many that have been rumored to leave. That's where I think the problem lies. Because if you look at their roster, you're like, wow, are you kidding me? These are really good players. But there's just too many players that don't. They look like they want to. Ziyech has been rumored to leave every week. Yeah,
he should leave.
Oh man, I'd love to have him at AC Milan. So Ziyech has been rumored to leave. Pulisic has been rumored to leave. Jorginho, Reg, N'Golo Kante. I'm reading N'Golo Kante even to, of course, who else? PSG. But so again, I don't know. They bring in Cucurella for 60 odd million. They're bringing it. Did they get Fofana too? Like, did they get that? I don't know.
But who cares about those guys, bro? You're bringing in their left and a right back. Okay, great. Well, what am I scared of going forward? Who's going to score your goals?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they need a striker. I mean, let's be honest. You said, okay, who did Tottenham bring in? You're right. They didn't really bring in much. But the thing is, it's another year under Antonio Conte. It's another year.
Kane and Son already, right?
Son, yes. And I think that's the difference. Whereas Chelsea, you have all these moving parts. You can see Thomas Tuchel almost being in an Antonio Conte after 3 years at a club mood, right? Doesn't it look like he looks very frustrated every week?
He's already there,
yeah. And that's why. Because again, on paper, yes, but this is the toughest league in the world for a reason, and it's a game. They hear me out here. The streak and the mentality, the philosophy that they're encountering now, that's a bad one and it's inconsistent, is the opposite of what Arsenal is right now. Arsenal is the work of before, and those struggles are now leading them to this path. They've grown up. Whereas Tuchel, when he first took over Chelsea, that was him, and that's what it is. And I'll take it to Arsenal, because whereas Chelsea's on this downward spiral, it seems like Arsenal is on this uptick because of what they suffered through last year, right? Because of what they had to go through. You can tell it's a team that's really about the collective. That's why I say that they're very similar to me of what I saw last year with AC Milan, where it's already taking on this, I don't know, this kind of
identity, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, where like, you were saying to me, "Oh, your team's for real last year," and I was going, "Well, let's see." And Arsenal fans tempering it, but being happy, and you should be. And by the way, you should be. I saw something on Talk Sport, and it just kills me. Arsenal fans were celebrating against.
Yeah.
Like they just okay. So hear me out. Are you guys not supposed? Are we not supposed to celebrate?
That's only Joe. It was only Fulham, Joe. It was only Fulham, right?
I don't buy that.
I'll tell you why.
Because today my team played against Sassuolo, who's usually a really thorn in their side, and they come out 0-0. If they got a goal in the 97th minute, I'd be cheering. I'd be going crazy. If we can't say that games are hard and every team is difficult to play against, and then when you beat them, say, "Oh, it's only them." That's why I don't say that when Liverpool got those ties, where teams fall against smaller opponents. I don't buy it. You know this, Reggie. I've told you for a long time. Sometimes I feel it's harder to play against those teams when you are the big team. So I don't say that. So I know I went a little bit all over the place, but for me, to take it back to the Arsenal thing, that's what I look at, and I look at the difference between Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea, there's not a belief. Whereas Arsenal, it's not that many different players. Saliba is a player that I think, it speaks to the patience of the market, the patience of directors. You were telling me, Arsenal fans, obviously the Arsenal brass, hey, we got something here with this guy. Just wait. I feel the same way with some of the players that, maybe Paulo Maldini has talked about that way too. So I think to say that, take it back. Whereas Chelsea's on, for me, this pendulum of going this way, Arsenal's confidence looks great. So that is a big win, and that is something to celebrate.
Well, let's before I get off the Fulham thing, let's remember that Fulham took points off Liverpool and won today. So I guess it's just Fulham, I guess. So okay.
Yeah, and Mitrovic can't stop scoring. I don't buy it, Reggie. I told you that before.
It's just a guy he used to be on a big station. He got fired. Now he's on a station nobody watches anymore. So he has to say something to get attention to himself. And he's done it. We've been talking about it for 4 days now, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I wanted to bring it back to Chelsea. Oh, sorry.
No, just to close it, Reg. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I just think, because it does bother me, I just think, so a team goes 4-0, and we're not supposed to get too high. If they were 2-2 would be, so it's BS.
I think ripped the other way. We lose that game against Fulham, we get ripped. So
that's it. Winning at the pro level and top leagues is hard. So sorry.
Yeah. So I want to bring it back to Chelsea and the way that we rebuild. You're looking at what Arsenal was doing. There's so many times as an Arsenal fan in the past 2 years where it's just like you scratch your head and you're like, what are these? What is Arteta? What is Edu doing? What are the owners doing? You don't know. And then, 2 years down the road, you see what the actual plan was, and you're just like, okay. So Chelsea has two options right now. They can do it the way that Arsenal did it and have maybe like a couple of down years, or they can do it the way they're trying to do it and how Man United are trying to do it, but just by buying players, right? So I'm not sure what Chelsea's going to do. And I think we lost Joe, but hang on. Oh man. There we go. You still there, Joe?
I'm back.
Okay, we're back.
This is part of the stream. We're okay, Reggie. I know you're talking. I kept hearing you, so yes, okay. I heard you about Chelsea, and you're right, Reg. I think even Logan says this, and I know we joke and stuff. We get too high and we get too low. Like, this is the margins of victory, especially in these leagues, are so small that I'm with you, Reggie. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction, and I don't know, man. Chelsea's in trouble as of today. Could this change after a couple of results? You're nodding your head. You're right. You're right. But to say that you're 4-0 you're playing good football. You have identity. It's nothing to sneeze at. And I'll say it this again. I hear that you hear me say this every week, right, Reggie?
Mm.
So today's football with center backs that can play press high, can recover. I think if you have one, you're in good shape. When you have two, that's championship material for me. And
So what if you have three?
And that's what you need to have. And I think you need backup, right? Like, it's funny, Reggie. Today I saw Simon Kyer, who I love. I love him. They didn't not get the result because of Simon Kyer coming back, but you see the difference, And I look at Saliba and Gabriel, and I'm going, these are not only physical specimens, but they can play, they can recover, and games tell the season. Gabriel makes a mistake, right, on Mitrovic's goal, right, Reg? And not only does he atone, but it's the winner. Sometimes things happen in a season, and you got to give Mikel Arteta a lot of credit. You got to give the brass at Arsenal credit, which I can't believe we're saying that because of all the years. But they stuck with him, and they've seen that he's doing the work, and the players have bought in. And so, there's something brewing there. I know I don't want to jinx, all you Gunner fans, and a lot of you guys listen to us and watch us, so I appreciate it. But it's going well right now. I still think, Reggie, I think our top four I think we agree on who will be in the mix there. As of today, I'm not so sure it's a slam dunk of who's winning either. I know we made a prediction, but your team can be in there. They can be there in the end. So.
I thank you for saying that, Joe. But in all, reality, I still think they finished third.
Which would be tremendous.
Which would be incredible. But the fourth place, how we said last week, I don't know who's going to finish fourth. I don't really care. I can't see Chelsea. I can't see United. If you want to put Tottenham in there, okay, you can put Tottenham in there. I think they'll be in the mix somehow as well at the end too. But I mean, I'm not going to say third or bust, but third place, fourth place, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 points out from second, which would be either Liverpool or City, is an accomplishment for me. So
I think so too, Reggie. So we're going to keep going and keep looking at their we'll just get one thing to close off on Arsenal. Reggie, who do they got next? I think that's important.
They play Villa tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and then they have United on Sunday.
Big week. So is there any week that's not a big week? So big week there. United. So it takes us to United, Reggie.
Yeah.
Another result on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Antony. I mean, how do you not? I know we're talking about transfers after, but Reggie, 90 mil, or is it more? You tell me.
That was 100.
100 million. I just.
Reggie, 100 million euros, I believe. 90. Okay. I think it's 90 million pounds.
Reg, I've told you how much you rate him too. You watched Ajax a lot. That's one of the teams that you watch outside of the EPL. I know for you, it's like, other than you watch Serie A a bit, but like you watch Champions League, it's Ajax and Atletico. I know you have an affinity to them, but so we know that Antony's quality. I can't put 90 million. I mean, wow, and just throwing out money.
I was flabbergasted when I saw it. So I was actually reading something the other day, or not the other day, I guess it was either today. Man United has given Ajax 165 million pounds this season. So you think Ten Hag had an idea of that's what he was going to do, and then maybe in a couple of years go back to Ajax with all that money there? I don't know, man. Conspiracy theory, Reggie again. I don't know. But
yeah, he's good. He's like, you know what? Yeah. Good call, exactly. Reggie. It's like, if I get sacked here, I'm going to go back to Ajax
and have $200 million to spend.
Yeah, not bad. Hey, that's called planning ahead.
And take Ziyech with me from Chelsea.
Planning ahead. Can you just drop Ziyech off in Milan? That'd be great.
I know if you're Chelsea right now and you're not playing well and you're losing games, don't you try to tinker with the lineup a little bit and see what you got instead of just going with the same old?
Reggie, I agree with you. There's something wrong there. I know we keep going back and forth, but there's so many intriguing storylines in the Premier League right now.
Yeah,
and the transfers do make that possible. Yeah, the trajectory of Chelsea and United, like, Chelsea is Chelsea falling into that? Like how much Tuchel looks a frustrated man.
It's not the same in the EPL, man. The pressure is different. So if you're going from a team like PSG that's gonna win the league, no pressure there. Win Champions League, you didn't win. Okay, a couple of these seasons you got sacked, fine, whatever. Then, coming from Borussia, where it's just like, well, we're gonna finish second to Bayern Munich in all reality. So coming in second or third is a good season for us. And now you're at Chelsea with the new owners and new money. Here's your players, win the league, and you don't have the players to do it.
Well, he comes in, he wins Champions League. Remember with Chelsea, he did.
Yeah, but that team was Frank Lampard's team, right? Or we're not gonna give Frank any credit for that. I don't think.
I think the point is well taken. The point is the Premier League is a different kind of beast.
Yeah.
Again, Reggie, that's why I do give a ton of credit to the Klopps, the managers hanging around for a long time. I think Pep, I know is your buddy, but I think Arteta deserves credit in that. I think a guy like he's withstood. He took a hard year. He could be a guy. He seems like he could be the manager type to hang around long term this way because he went through. Let's face it, he went through the depths of hell with Arsenal, right? So and now coming at it. So if he can survive that. But, I mean, you look at a guy that you, and maybe rightfully so, you're really hard on usually, is Brendan Rodgers. Like, are we not talking about Leicester? Like, this was a team that was in, top 6.
That's a game that where you're going up against them to play him, and it's just like, yeah, we're gonna be involved in a really difficult game. And I don't know if the players have tuned him out. I don't know if half the team wants to leave. I don't know what's going on there. They have 1 point out of 4 games, rock bottom of the EPL.
Could they be a team that's in trouble? Like, I don't know.
That's a team in trouble. When you have Man United at the bottom of the table, even as bad as they're playing, they still have the talent to come out of that. Even Arsenal last year, as bad as it started, you still have the talent to come out. Aubameyang and all those guys didn't play in those games because they had COVID and stuff like that. So you still have, you're not going to get relegated.
That's right.
But this Leicester team, who's going to dig? If you're waiting for Vardy to dig you out, I don't know.
A year older Vardy, like a Tielemans who's probably going to be out. Like who knows? Yeah. Maybe Arsenal. I don't know. Again, so there's that. We'll take it back to Antony and what United is going to do. Do you see United? First of all, the biggest elephant in the room. What do you do with Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, again, we said it already. He made his bed. He has to lay in it, and no one can pay. He has to take a pay cut. If he wants to leave, he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Yeah, like he not like again? I know he's painting himself in a really bad spot here. I mean, this is like, okay, you do want to go. I understand that. He's really picky about where you're going, how you're going to go. What's it going to cost?
All the teams he picked said, no, thank you. Right.
And I think it's salary, right, Reggie? I think now the latest was Napoli. I've been telling you for a while, and again, I watch Serie A, obviously, almost too much. But Victor Osimhen, who's going to make a move to the EPL one day, no doubt. I've been telling you, this guy is ridiculously good. So that's part of the deal. So there's been a rumor, right? We all heard it, we all read it, that Ronaldo goes to Napoli. And I think Osimhen goes the other rumor. But I said to you,
ridiculous, but anyway.
Ridiculous because this guy has power, pace, he can score.
He's 10 years younger, though. He's 10 years younger than him.
10 years
11 years younger than him.
And I'm going, okay, so part of what's making Napoli pretty successful, yes, Cashval, I'm killing his name, but Cava will call this new kind of, way of they're playing, Osimhen being part of it, being healthy. You take him out and it's different. The team looks different. Then you can put Ronaldo there. And listen, Ronaldo is one of the best of all time. I get that, but this is different. This is interesting for me, for Ronnie and his career. I don't know. Like, does he move? Like, if you're Ten Hag, you're trying to build identity. Obviously, it's clear what type of identity you're trying to build. Is he around after tomorrow, Reg?
I'm unfortunately for Ten Hag and Manchester United fans, I'm saying yeah, just because of what we said. No one can afford him unless he takes it. I'm not talking about taking 25% pay cut. I'm talking like a 75% pay cut this guy needs to take in order for him to be affordable for anybody and make it worth their while. Because no one's going to pay this guy. He's 1 year left on this contract. If he doesn't like the place that he's gone to, he's gone the next year anyway. You've laid out all this money for him, or you've paid him all that salary. So he's got to be making about 120 to 100 and maybe 50 per week from his 450 that he's making right now in order for him to be affordable for other clubs to afford him. So I don't know, but
what do you think he should do, Reg? Here, I'm going to tell you right now. What do you think?
Who? Ronaldo?
You had him in the room, and let's say he's your boy, and he believes in you, and he values Reggie's opinion. You guys are buddies. I don't know. What do you tell him?
I tell him to take a pay cut and go somewhere else.
You know what I tell him?
It's pretty clear that Ronaldo is the Aubameyang of United. You have to go for us to get better, but I can't kick you off the team. You know what I mean? It has to be a mutual thing where you agree and we agree, but you're never going to play here again. So you got to go if you want to play.
You know what would be I wish that it would be like this. Ronaldo, you've won everything that there is to win at club level.
Yes.
Everything. You're the Champions League king, man. Like, no doubt.
Yes.
But why not help bring this team back to glory? Even if it's in that lesser role, because I don't think it will be in a lesser role. I think by the time if he stayed at United, by the time the end of the season came, he would still contribute. Is Ronaldo going to contribute at the same level? No, because I just think the grind of the Premier League is too much for him to do it at Premier League and so on. It's just physically. I'm not questioning Ronaldo's greatness. I'm not.
Yeah.
He's done it, so I'm fine. But I just think it would be great. It would be a great story for him to bring them back. Bring them back to a top 4 finish.
Who do you sacrifice on this current team in order to make Ronaldo contribute? Because he's going to take minutes away from Rashford, Martial, if you're going to keep him around. He's not going to take minutes from Antony anymore. From Antony because he's new and he has to play because he's 100 million.
Yeah.
So Rashford, Martial, I forget who's on the other side there. Alanga, the kid.
Yeah.
Who loses minutes because Ronaldo has to play.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be Ronaldo taking that lesser role, and that's the point. He won't, and I don't get it because
that's the problem. He thinks he's a 120-minute player, right? So,
and that's unfortunate. I just think he's put United in a tough spot. To be fair, with all the garbage that United have created, their own garbage, Reg.
Yeah,
I think he hasn't helped them, and I don't want to hear Joe. You're just saying that because you've been critical of Ronaldo. No, I'm telling you, I just wish he has nothing left to do in the game. He really doesn't. Okay, World Cup. How many players don't have a World Cup? This guy's won a Euro.
Tons of players don't have World Cups.
Yeah, he's done it all. Ronaldo has done it all. So I just would wish that he would just stay with United, actually, and say, I'm going to try to – you know what, Reggie? You never know. Maybe he might have to, not because he wanted to. Does that make sense? So –
just go to PSG, man. Just go to PSG and leave me alone.
They don't want him, Reg. They don't want him.
They have everybody else, so I don't know if they need him or not. But maybe Messi had something to do with that. But who knows?
Well, we're gonna get to them, right, Reggie? When we continue to silly,
man, it's so embarrassing. Yeah. It's so embarrassing, man. So embarrassing. But yeah, we'll get to them.
We'll get to them. We're going to continue our roundup in the EPL. There's so much to talk about. We talked about Chelsea. We talked about United, which we could go on. We could do a United show forever because of this shambolic stuff that's happening there. We talked about Arsenal. City. I mean, Manchester City. I know Erling Haaland. Listen, I'm going to say this. There was people saying, and I know Reggie has a problem with, the spending and so on. We know that. It's well documented. But if we take a look at, if you said, not you, Reggie, but if people said that, Erling Haaland's not going to score goals in the Premier League, I think you're crazy. Like, the guy is built for the Premier League. It's all right, Reggie. He is powerful. He's
Big, he's fast.
He's big. He's fast. He's got a nose for the net. He's got personality. And then you're on the end of, I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, et cetera, et cetera.
Doesn't hurt.
Of course you're going to score, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, I'm just calling out people who said, oh, he's not going to be, I don't think he's going to do that well in the Premier League. I think you're insane. I just, it's insane. Kevin De Bruyne's the best midfielder for me in the world, and he's teeing up stuff for Erling Haaland. Bernardo Silva's not too bad. Ilkay Gundogan, and so on and so on. Yeah, exactly. Like him on the end of stuff, like, I don't know. I just think Holland is just the City for me. They go down a couple of goals, and the game's not over. Like they're
we've seen that the last 2-3 weeks, right? They go down 2 goals and end up winning 4-2, right? Second half,
right,
they score 4 goals.
And again, I don't think that's the way you draw it up. I don't think that's the way you're gonna get far in the Champions League. But this team is Erling Haaland is just, he's special. Like, I mean, I'm not, let's put aside, Reggie, he did this transfer to City and they're buying everybody. I don't know, Reg. He's the real deal, no? Like, he's pretty scary. Him and Mbappe, it's pretty scary, man.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 2 guys that are probably going to take it forward from maybe not Messi and Ronaldo, but top tier. Those are probably going to be the 2 names that you're going to talk about when you're talking about great players in the game right now, because they're going to get those 2 are going to get a lot of goals each. So if that's what we're counting it on, then yeah, we're going to be talking about them for a while.
And you will see them in the World Cup, Reg, because I mean, hey, I've got to tell you, right? Your captain's doing a pretty good job.
Captain got hurt.
Is he available for tomorrow?
He won't be back for, I think, maybe a month. I think he did the same injury that he did the last time when he was out for like 3 months. He hurt it again. So
and these are things that there's you need turnover, but certain guys it's hard to replace. So I know, and Arsenal's going through that a bit now. I was giving them credit for the weekend because no Partey, no Zinchenko. I thought that was a good win. So yeah. Trust me, Red.
You can't say that, Joe. You can't say that.
Well, I can't say injuries.
You can't say good win. You can't say good win.
Oh yeah, geez, that was insane talk. I tell you, you can't be happy when you win. You're supposed to be. You're in shambles when you lose. Like, fandom is crazy. But anyway, okay, Reggie. So City, I know how much you love to talk about City, but they look.
I don't mind City. It's just
your boy.
So
another, I'm glad you recognize it. So again, continuing on the topic of EPL teams that Reggie loves, then of course we have to talk about Tottenham. Tottenham Hotspur, Reg. So obviously Tottenham's ace in the hole, if you will, is the Antonio Conte factor. It still hasn't expired. Until that expires, they're in the mix, as we say, right? So Kane and Son, and there's one thing I didn't like. So Tottenham, we said, good on them in terms of they're going to be in the mix. I like the fact that it's going to be maybe the 2 North London teams having a say in the top 4. They have game changers. One thing we saw that we didn't like, so it was against Forest. We'll talk about Nottingham Forest and what they did in the transfer market, which just sums up world football for me. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second.
I still don't know how they got that guy, but whatever.
And this is just, to me, sums up modern football, and I'm going to give a little bit of a reality check to anybody else in any other league, but we'll talk about that. But Richarlison did something that, we're game purists, right? We're game purists. We like the stuff about unwritten rules. I can remember a time Reggie and I in an important men's league game, of course, in a Sunday night league, playing against teams, and a certain player walked the ball in, and it was an open net. We were short, and a player, dilly-dallied and took forever to put it in. And Reginald, rightfully so, let that guy know and came up and gave him so much so that I went to intercept Reggie, and I intercepted one of the big man's elbows. But so anyway, trying to hold Reggie back. But Reggie did the right thing. Didn't hit anybody, guys. Don't worry. He just sternly. I just want to make it clear. So it's along those same lines. Richarlison does a bit of keep ups in the middle of the game there. And I don't know. Antonio Conte did the listen, Reg. He stood up. He knows it was wrong because Conte's the type of player he would have killed somebody if that happened. You know, he's Roy Keane-esque that way. Like, you could tell he didn't want to answer the question. Forest manager, no chance.
Yeah.
He's right. You can't stand for that. You can't do that. You can't do that. So Reggie, I mean, I know where you stand on it. Like, and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Reggie, because it's Spurs." BS. You don't do that stuff.
I'll tell you what, Joe. You know me. Younger 24-year-old, 25-year-old me, that his leg would have been on that side of the field and his body would have been on that side of the field if he had done that against a team I played against.
You're lifting him. Yeah, you're
absolutely crazy. The next time you get the ball, I'm going in full force. So whatever happens, happens. And I don't apologize for it. So I don't know, Joe. It's not something that you want to see. If he was a player on Arsenal doing that, I would have been begging Arteta, take him off. Yeah. You don't do that to a team. Do it to City, do it to Liverpool if you have, the guts to do it. You're going to do it to the team that just came up, who's 3 or 4 games into their newest venture into the EPL with nothing really going for them, and then you're going to do keep ups on the sideline. Buddy,
I'm with you. With you. And you know what? That revolving door, that karma thing, I don't know. It's just you're taking a good performance and you tarnish it a bit. And I think, that's the maturity.
Was it a good performance still, Joe? Because it's only Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, so I can't believe you saying that. And
I'm gonna keep saying it all year. It's only Liverpool.
Oh, I'm with you. Listen, I say that all the time because people say I'm crazy saying, I hate counting victories. Right, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, which I know the banana peels. Unfortunately, I know banana peels for my teams. Yeah, and today was one. But I agree with you. Like, you celebrate victories because guess what? Guys, we're fans, and if you're a true fan or supporter, you suffer. I'm 2-3 months, 4 months away out of my team winning the league for the first time in 11 years. I was miserable today.
Calling me crying
against Sassuolo. I was right. So we are supposed to celebrate our wins. So if you're an Arsenal fan and you guys came back and you won that game against Fulham, hell yeah, you celebrate. So Tottenham's performance to me wasn't. This is Antonio Conte, Reggie. I'm telling you, and I don't know if you're Arsenal and Tottenham, you don't. It's hard to be battling your derby partner, but for a neutral, it's great to see. But I know for you, it might be, difficult. But they're both in there for now. I still think they will be in there by the end of the year in terms of battling for it. We'll see how far they go. But Liverpool, let's talk about this. So Liverpool wins 9-0 at Bournemouth. Against Bournemouth. It was at Anfield. Obviously, they were just, this was Liverpool due. Well, now, ironically, though, 9 goals go in. Mo Salah does not get a goal or an assist.
Yeah, shocking when I saw that, Joe. So shocking when I saw that.
All you guys with fantasy players and stuff in pools were like 9. But okay, so Liverpool kind of, we expect that. Okay, sure. 9-0 is pretty massive. But what about this? Scott Parker gets sacked.
Oh, he did?
He got sacked.
4 games in.
4 games in after winning that.
So I guess it's not. I guess it's not early season anymore, eh?
He's the one. So again, a lot of people are saying, a lot of people are saying maybe it wasn't the 9-0, but maybe it was he comes out after Reg, and he alludes to, the market and how the board is looking at bringing in players. He alluded to something like, they know they got to bring in players. So a lot of people are saying, I've read some stuff saying that maybe it wasn't exactly the 9-0 loss because, hey, he wasn't doing that poorly, by the way. It wasn't the 9-0 loss, right?
You don't give him till Christmas? Give him 4 games?
That's a lot of people are saying, Reggie, and again, who knows what the sources are right, that it was, his criticism of the transfer policy, and they didn't see eye there.
They don't do anything.
Right. So I don't know, Reggie. I mean, newly promoted teams maybe they should be like Forest and they should sign Renan Lodi, Rich.
I have no idea how Nottingham Forest got this guy when there are teams that are looking for left backs or teams that are looking for right backs. And no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, who had a great right back and sent them on loan, but how does Renan Lodi from Atletico Madrid end up on Nottingham Forest of all teams?
Reginald, I just don't know I know what's going on. You know what I'm going to say.
What?
It's a sign of the times, Reggie. I just think teams in the Premier League can't afford to do this. So why not? Like, they can do it. No, Reggie.
But if you're Renan Lodi, do you go to Nottingham Forest? Yeah, again, no disrespect, but I mean, you have a chance to make your national team. Like, why would you? I guess playing time. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying this to you too today on the phone. Playing for Atletico Madrid in the Champions League every single season, battling for La Liga, and not only playing in the Champions League, reaching the knockout stages of the Champions League every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sign of the times, Reggie. It's a sign of the times. You know,
if you're in the EPL, you can just spend, I guess.
You are at the big boy table.
Yeah.
At the big in Monaco, man. You are in the biggest casino, and you are in Vegas, and you are at the big boy table. You're not playing the penny slots.
That's right.
And I think that's what it is, Reg. I think, and this is what I told you today about the realization of fans in other leagues that aren't the EPL, and if you're not Bayern Munich, and if you're not Real Madrid or Barcelona, this is what it is. Like, you have to be ready to have creative markets. Like I say with my team, if someone comes and wants 100 and gives 100 million for Leao, I'm going to say, I love you. Thank you for doing all that you did for us. I'll drive you to the airport.
Yeah.
Reggie, we're, AC Milan, announced something today that, like, with Red Cardinal and that the ownership group, that they're going to be part of, like, the Yankees consortium and Drake.
Really?
And I'm going, and people say, this is what the stuff you could only compete this way because you're not going to be. This is not important. Renan Lodi, Reggie, you know better than me. You follow Atletico more than me.
Yeah.
Every time I watched him, he was dangerous. I love his
game.
He's
an attacking wing back. Brazilian
national team, right, Reg?
Chance to make the national team for the World Cup, and Atletico couldn't use him because Marcos Llorente plays there now, but I don't know.
So for me, it's a sign of the times in what is the EPL in the transfer market. So I think that's a good segue to go to where I don't want to go today, Reg. In the Serie A, I'll go there because you know what? Today, let's start with our friend Max and Roma fans. Roma fans are happy today, and there's a lot of hype around Roma. And today, Dybala scored his first 2 goals in a Roma shirt and made the crowd at L'Olimpico, Stadio Olimpico, happy. So they win. Inter gets back on the winning, mark today, winning 3-1 at home against Cremonese. And if AC Milan dropping points today, 0-0 tie, lucky to get them.
I was telling you that those teams are going to drop points because there's going to be a time where it's going to be Inter and Juve, or Roma and Inter, or Roma and Juve, and you're going to be playing Monza. And one of those two, if not both of those teams, are going to drop points, and you're going to get all 3. So you're going to make up the points that way.
Yeah. Again, and I think I said this to you today. There's just games that, like, so Pioli, I thought, did a good job in the week or on Saturday. Okay, he did a little turnover. Rebic and Origi were going to start and play against Sassuolo
today. Yeah,
right. Today, the next day in training, or I think it was Monday in training. Yesterday, we find out that Rebic and Origi wouldn't make it and didn't make the trip. So he turned over the squad today. He had guys playing that, getting new starts. And you saw just right off the bat, it just didn't look like a good start for them. Mike Magnon saves a penalty. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people say he might have jumped the line, but Mike
Happens everywhere,
Magnon.
Joe.
Trust me, Reg. I know. Mike Magnon, guys. I keep saying this to you, right, Reggie? I said this is going to be France's number one.
Should be.
He is better than Lloris. He might be the next one, by the way, from Leeds. I think I got his name right, Reggie. Right, but Melier from Leeds.
Oh yeah.
But Mike Magnon, first of all, today Mike Magnon. Yeah, I think is anyway. We'll check that, but I think he was the only guy worth noting today. If you're an AC Milan fan, you know what? Good for Sassuolo. They've lost a lot. They lost Raspadori, they lost Scamacca, and what they did today was they stayed really defensive and tight, and good for them because they need to get results.
Yeah.
So for them, big result.
Yep.
And Milan was forgettable today. I'll just leave it at that.
You're gonna have those games, Joe. You're gonna have those games.
It was forgettable. We'll talk about the good. The good is Charles de Ketelaere, Rich, a signing. So we talk about what the EPL teams can sign. We're looking at what Milan can sign with Maldini. This is a great signing for them. 35 million, an up and coming player. Kevin De Bruyne.
Great. Yeah.
You
great
saw
on
him.
Saturday.
You liked him a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. So
he looked really good. There was a couple of times he looks like he's a tall kid, and he just looks like he's going to be slow and lanky, but he'll get by you. So, what did you say? Deceptive pace or deceptive quickness, or what did you call him?
Yeah, he does. He does have a bit of that, and I'm happy about that. But I do think he's going to need time. But they look like he looks like a good find from AC Milan. So again, credit to that. Maldini and so on. And again, Maldini did say, I know we won. I know everyone has these expectations. Temper it. It's going to be that type of year. Let's see. And so on. So again, a lot of growing pains with him. But again, you are the champ now, and people are gunning at you every week.
That's right.
Right. So I will talk about a game that happened last week. Lazio-Inter. Lazio, let me tell you, Reggie, they balled. And Luis Alberto scored a banger.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy, you might have heard of him. Milinkovic-Savic is playing this year, Reg.
Wow.
And Reg, there's my sleeper Serie A team to watch.
Lazio?
They're playing at a clip, Reg. And Sarri Sarri's always going to play pretty soccer if he has a chance. But Luis Alberto, Milinkovic-Savic, man, they looked okay, man. They looked okay. And this, an age-old, timeless wonder there, ageless wonder, I should say. Pedro came on and things. So that's a big game against, Inter. I think Inter, they'll still be there. Lukaku is out for the Derby della Madonnina, which happens this Saturday.
Wow.
So, but Inter
2:45 or what?
It's at 12 o'clock. Yeah, so it's going to be a midday game. So, so that's a big one. Yeah, and Serie A has big matchups this weekend. Obviously, the Derby della Madonnina is the biggest. But we have, and again, there's still games tomorrow. Like Juventus playing Spezia tomorrow and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some, games where I think the bigger teams play the smaller teams. But on Saturday, a huge game in Italy. This is a big game. Fiorentina against Juventus is usually a very good game. That's that. This is all on the same day. AC
Vlahovic going back to Fiorentina, or is it? Where is it?
Yeah, I believe it's in Firenze. I believe.
Oh, okay.
I believe it is at the Artemio Franchi. Yeah, and then we have the Derby della Madonnina, which is AC Milan against Inter, and of course, 2:45 Lazio Napoli. So,
oh wow!
So
Roma gets to put its feet up and watch, or what?
Reg, I'm telling you, maybe they play Udinese on Sunday. They could be looking at something here. So again, and then in midweek, next week we have Champions League. So, and that's the thing too. We got Champions League draw. So, but so that's what it is. That's your Serie A roundup. I know there's a lot. Again, when you look at people buying, moving, and selling, got to be realistic. The EPL, the signings there are unbelievable. But that's the Serie A roundup. Reggie, who do you got winning La Liga?
Joe, I gotta tell you something. And 3 years ago, this would never come out of my mouth. I watched, even my team played on Saturday. I watched the best game of the weekend yesterday. It was Valencia versus Atletico Madrid. It had everything, Joe. VAR took back a goal. VAR took back a red card. The atmosphere was incredible. The football was great. VAR took away the goal of the season. It was a rocket from about 30 yards, a rocket. But there was a foul 18 passes before, so they had to bring it back. But unbelievable game, Joe. It's a great advertisement for La Liga. If you just watch Barcelona play, then I can't help you. But there's other teams in the league, and it was the best game of the weekend for me, anyway.
And great atmospheres, right? Real Betis.
Oh, that stadium, the Mestalla Stadium, Joe. If you're building a stadium, you want to emulate that. What a stadium! It is beautiful.
And of course, Valencia, you got, Rino Gattuso coaching there, right?
That's right. So, and Simeone got a yellow, Gattuso got a yellow. Yeah. Oh, beautiful! What a game!
Cavani in the stands is going to be joining Gattuso. So,
Cavani signed there too. Yeah, he's gonna be leading the line with newly found money that Valencia has received, and we'll talk about that a little bit later when we get into Ligue 1, I guess. But yeah, great game, Joe. Great game.
So again. That's still, again, there's so many great games, great leagues too. I mean, I tell you all the time, Bundesliga makes me, other than Bayern winning all the time, there are really other good games and so on. So it is, the quality of football is incredible. A lot of places, and that's why week to week, so hard to win.
Well, to answer your question, which I didn't answer, I guess. I think it's you can't rule out Real Madrid. If Barcelona ever gets this thing right, with the talent that they have now, they're pretty good. And Real Betis is still up there, right? I mean, I don't know if it's just the early season thing. Like Brighton's right up there in the EPL; they're in 4th place. It's not going to shake out like that, but you never know, right? So,
well, again, teams get on a roll, right? And this is what we say: they get on a roll, and they don't have the pressures of Champions League sometimes, and in those leagues, that's major, because we do know. When a Barcelona, when Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, when they're pushing for Champions League spots and Champions League, not qualification, when they're in it and they're looking to move on to knockout stages, sometimes their minds are elsewhere. So teams like, Valencia or Betis and so on could, run a surprise or, catch us by surprise. So
yeah, for sure.
Anyhow. So, Reg, I don't know. There's a couple of places. There's a couple of hot topics. Okay.
Yeah.
These 2 letters, I think I said them last week, and they keep coming up because we're like, oh, ho hum.
Okay.
PSG.
Disgusting.
So now who's the latest? Fabian Ruiz?
They got Fabian Ruiz yesterday. They got. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Solar too, right? Yeah.
That's they got him today.
Yeah. And is there anybody else that's probably going to go there too? I'm not making a joke here.
Where are all these players going to – anyway, it's not my issue, but we talked about it today, and what did you say?
You have to win. You have to win Champions League.
That's the only thing I care about.
That's it. If you don't win Champions League, so if you win it, you say, yeah, so what? You should have. If you don't, shame on you. You didn't win Champions League.
But you put yourself in that position, Joe.
You're setting yourself up for anything scrutiny for anything else but win. You have to win.
Yep. So you already have. I guess now you have the best front 3 in world football. Arguably, last season it was with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which probably, Liverpool was probably a little bit ahead of them if you ask me. But this year, it's no doubt you have the best front 3 in world soccer. You have Fabian Ruiz behind them now. You have Soler behind them now, and you have
Marco Verratti
still there. And I mean, if this team isn't built to win, it's not built to win the league, because you don't even have to play those. Well, maybe I don't want to slight Ligue 1, but you don't need all that firepower to win that league.
Reggie, what you're saying is with that front 3, which is absolutely devastating, would be absolutely devastating in the EPL or any league, right? Whatever champion.
That's right.
If you look at it for Liga, it's not fair. So
that's right.
Teams like, and I know Monaco drew them last week or whatever.
That's right.
But what you have to do to get a result against PSG is massive. I mean, they dismantled Jonathan David and Lille 2 weeks ago, 7-1.
That's right.
And Neymar's really playing. And we're gonna get to this when we get to World Cup, but just as a neutral, to see Argentina and Brazil play in a meaningful World Cup game would be so amazing.
Yeah.
Reggie, I don't know, just if you talk about old school, football, I don't know, royalty with Brazil playing at the top of their game, man.
But they're South American rivals too, so there's a little bit of spice added to that. And now that actually means something, it'd be a great game to watch with proper refereeing. Not Copa America refereeing.
So PSG, Reggie, it's the same thing. This player, that player. I mean, unbelievable. Fabian Ruiz to play with that group. You got to win. So I'm done with saying that. It's the same thing I said last year. You said it too. PSG has to win, or what are we talking about here? So I'm done with them.
And not the league or the French Cup or anything like that. They win Champions League. Done. That's it.
And unfortunately, that's world football right now. And if you're, like I said, if you're a team, like if you think your team can compete on those levels, I don't know, man. Like I said, we talk about Nottingham Forest signing these players. This is, I don't know. The only ones that can compete are outside of the Premier League are those teams: PSG, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real. So. Real
Madrid, Barcelona. Well, it looks like Barcelona too because they signed everybody under the sun. I still don't understand how Jules Koundé can play. I don't get it. How is he allowed to play?
And again, Reg, and I think now Koundé is now registered. So on.
I don't know how they pulled that off.
Listen, when we say we don't know, I want to make it very clear, right, Reggie? We really don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. Someone got paid, and then he's playing. So that's the only. And you can sit there and say, "Oh yeah, okay." I'm telling you, that's the way it happened. That's the only way.
I don't get it when I'm looking at Juventus. I know AC Milan, Inter. I know you said some other team, and then Arsenal too. But anyway, some teams they're getting flagged for financial fair play. They're getting, having to pay fines. And then PSG, Man City, Barcelona can't register players, but we're okay. I don't get it. I don't understand.
How are Man City? I don't know. Not Man City. Really how are PSG? How are PSG signing all these guys and can't get them registered? And Barcelona can't get them registered, but we don't talk about that. I don't understand.
And that's what we honestly mean that as fans. We think we're a little bit knowledgeable. We try to do some research, and maybe I got to do better research. But I just don't know how to just keep signing. So that's that.
And then a team like AC Milan gets fined $5 million, right? Like you were telling me today. Yeah. For what? For what?
That's what I mean. So,
wow.
I don't know.
Anyways.
These are the things that I don't get. I don't understand. And Barcelona, and like you said last time, they just happened to get those guys registered in.
In time, right? Look what they did. Look, Lewandowski, all of a sudden he's ready for the first. How? 2 days ago you couldn't afford to do anything, and now all of a sudden we can register all 6 of these players now.
Why are we even reporting that can happen? So, Reggie, I want to leave you with a question that I want to get back to you before. Again, I heard this on TalkSport. Would you, Graham Potter as a top 4 manager, how would he fare at a top 4 team?
It depends. I'm gonna use it like the David Moyes. If you give David Moyes that, for lack of a better term, I was gonna say crappy, but Everton wasn't crappy, I guess, but less than the top 5, we'll say. If you give him a team with like that has to work hard in order to get what they need, Graham Potter will be great, just like David Moyes. Now, you put Graham Potter in charge of City or Liverpool, I don't think the results are the same.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're so quick to just give people the next one. He's doing a great job. I think he's doing a really good job.
100%.
Just enjoy what he's doing there. I'm with you.
You want to put him at a big club. You want to put him at Real Madrid, and then tell Benzema, "Hey, man, my striker at Brighton had to run back to the other 18-yard box to get the ball back. Can you do that?" And Benzema will look at you, buddy. I won Champions League last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
telling me to run. You know what I mean.
I agree with you. I think he's done a great job. I think he's an up and coming. Let them do the work. I think we're so quick to have the next one and create a genius right away, and I think that's sometimes we like to play like fantasy with that. So I just said, I heard that today. So let me see what Reginald says about that. But and again, there are great managers in the world. There's guys that do good things, but again, sometimes their ideas are bigger than where they fit. I think of Ancelotti with that. Ancelotti was a guy who really, obviously we know he's one of the best managers ever, but he let his players do a lot of the stuff. And look, we all saw the images of him talking to Tony Kroos and Marcelo when they're making changes. So I think sometimes it's there's the mad geniuses, and there's also just the guys who know how to put their spots.
But you have to be careful about. I listen to TalkSport as well. You have to be careful about them, because if you're English, you are the best thing that's ever touched a football field.
Yeah.
So since Graham Potter's English, he should be coaching the Mars All Stars or whoever. Put him on a different planet. Yeah.
I'll tell you who he might be better off coaching.
Oh, Tottenham
is the Three Lions.
You think? Wow. Anybody's better than the guy that's there now, I guess, right?
World Cup stuff, guys. The World Cup is, Reggie. I mean, we're coming on to September. The World Cup will be roughly 2.5 months away. Just to give you guys
80 days or 84 days or something like that.
Yeah, let's call it 3 months, I guess, right? But it's coming, man. So we're gonna get to that. We'll do a lot of
I don't know what type of games you're gonna get from players come January, because if you're in the league, playing in your league, and where they're trying to rush games through to get them done, so you're playing maybe a couple of weeks, you're going to play 2 games a week, then Champions League and Europa start, then you got to there's Nations Cup, I think, in September as well, then you have to get prepared for the World Cup, and then you're going to come back in January and be totally gassed, I think. But
I think we're going to see a lot. We're seeing a lot of injuries already. It's right. We're seeing. That's it. And we're seeing teams having to play everywhere. EPL style schedules. I want to make that very clear. The EPL has always done it, guys. They've always done it. We know that. But now you're seeing it in every league. Serie A, La Liga, and Germany. So this will be very, very interesting for sure. I know, guys, we want to talk about Champions League. I think Reggie will probably do a Champions League review another day. We'll do that. I think what's important for us there's so many amazing topics. We're talking so much. Reggie's wearing that TFC shirt. TFC did something very good again last week, but again, dropping some points a couple of games before. But their latest game, Bernardeschi and Insigne get goals. They keep a clean sheet on the road. I think that's a big deal in itself, right, Reggie?
Well, especially coming off of what happened in Miami. What a disgrace.
Right. And they leapfrog a team they're chasing, right? So they leapfrog Charlotte. So that's a big win. I mean, 2 pretty good goals. I mean, Bernardeschi's goal is a little bit more highlight reelish, but
I always watch the games, the TFC games, and I'm just sitting there, and Bernardeschi, he drives me crazy.
Yeah. I think if you speak to one of Juventus fans,
touches off, and this is off, and that's off, and then he pulls a goal like that out, and it's just like, okay, yeah, all right, okay.
Well, I think Reggie, I think what you just nailed his time. Everybody thought Reggie, he was going to be as talented. Remember, he was at Fiorentina with Chiesa.
Yeah,
and I know you rate Chiesa too, and saying how and I think he does this because. With all due respect to the MLS, this was the frustration, especially at Juventus. And Juventus fans will tell you, they saw flashes but no consistency. And even you were saying it, right? You're like, hey, what's this guy? And then he comes up with something. So you always, we know this. We've been around the game. Goals make you forget about mistakes, right? They make you forget about things. So, they need to go on this roll. They need to continue it. They do need help. We asked you last week, Reggie, will they make the playoffs?
I think the next 2 games are going to be telling in that. They play LA Galaxy tomorrow night. I believe someone's here on Sunday, I believe.
CF Montreal, Reggie.
Montreal's here on Sunday. So
I'm kind of scared to go to that game, Reg. Like, it's CNE.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll be down there too. So, I won't be at the game, but I'll be in the area. So, maybe we can link up for a brewski before or after. But
can I fly to the stadium anyway?
Can you what?
Can I fly to the stadium? It's the worst place.
Oh, buddy, yeah, just parachute me in. I do not want to drive
down. I'm trying to get you a ticket, so we'll talk. Anyway.
So yeah, if they're able to pull out something, again, we said it, no draws. It's got to be wins from now on, but you got to win both. Every game should be like a playoff playing game right now. I mean, we burned ourselves in the beginning of the season, and now we're paying for it. So now there's no room for mistakes.
So Reggie, do they make it? No, I know, because I'm going back and forth too, buddy.
It depends. If they win, yeah, they'll make it. But if they drop any games like they did in Miami, which they should have won, then I don't see it. And even if they do make the playoffs, it's like the Blue Jays. Even if they do make the play-in, what are they going to do? Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, even if they make the playoffs, how far is this team going to go?
Reggie, I'm going to go bold with a prediction here, and I'm going to say TFC will make the playoffs.
Okay, but again, like I said last week, Jimenez and even now Akinola, they gotta start scoring. They have to start scoring. I can't depend on a worldie from Bernadeschi. That's right? Bernadeschi?
Yeah, you're right.
Bernadeschi. I used to say Bernadeschi, and now I'm stuck with that.
You could say whatever you like. Bernadeschi, yeah.
And then Insigne has to score worldies every game for us to have a chance. And as soon as they don't, we're going to look at them and say, well, what the hell? 15 million, you can't score.
Here's my thing, Reggie. I think you said it, with the striker position.
Yeah.
Even if they're not scoring, they got to be contributing in some way. And right now, Reggie,
yes,
I'm with you. It's lacking in that department, whether it be Akinola or, oh my gosh, Reggie, you just said his name.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I say, couldn't we give Jordan Peruzza a run at this? I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, maybe. So I don't know. We'll see with that. For me, Reg, I told you we got to we can't have mistakes from the back and the goaltending and the goalkeeping, and we didn't get that. Bono, to his credit, played a good game against Charlotte, and look what we got. So we can't kill ourselves. More importantly, I think absent from training today, if I do recall, it was Jonathan Osorio. Yeah,
he didn't play last game, did he?
Yeah, so hopefully that they, him and Mark Anthony Kay can get back in the mix because we do need them.
Yeah.
Right. And so that is very, very crucial. Reggie, you nailed it. I think, it's got to be flawless. All kidding aside, it needs to be flawless from here on out. And unfortunately, that might not be enough because you need help from other teams.
Well, this is what we try to avoid when we have to. This team has to lose. This team has to tie. This team can only score this many goals. Like, when we're at that stage, it's probably already done.
Yeah, and so we talked about playing with house money and being gambling, and the EPL having all that luxury. Your TFC trying to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, you're in the spot where you are not playing with house money.
That's right.
You're playing with your rent money. So that's different.
That's right. And you're sitting at the table with the big boys who are all looking to take the money from you. So I don't know.
So that's what it is. So Reggie, you're looking forward to obviously Arsenal continuing their run and seeing, can they keep going? Can they keep this going? Obviously, I'm not looking forward to actually the Derby della Madonnina that's coming up. Right, but our thing here on this show is always about bringing you what's next and what's next with Canadian football, and the CPL and League One Ontario. This weekend in League One Ontario, we have the League One Ontario final, and this year it'll be Saturday at 1 p.m. at the OSA Ontario Soccer Center, and this Saturday we have two familiar teams playing in it. Both teams have won the League One Ontario twice. One team is the Oakville Blue Devils. Head coach, I think Duncan Wild is still their coach. And, of course, Vaughan Soccer Club, Vaughan, Missouri, with obviously head coach Patrice Geyser, who's a friend of our show. And part of his staff is obviously Jordan Feliciano and Anthony Midori, big fan of our show.
Those guys. Those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Those are Patrice's assistant coaches. So a big game, a big day for that. A lot of players, some ex-CPLers playing in there, some players who are looking to make that jump, a player who's really exciting. There's so many, okay, but I want to highlight a couple. Obviously, on Vaughan Soccer Club, Massimo Farron, who played at UAB and played at Syracuse, and Mass has been fantastic. The Golden Boot winner in League One, and I think there'll be some CPL interest. And I'm telling you, Reggie, this kid belongs in the MLS. I've been saying it for a while. A teammate of Ryan Raposo at Syracuse, a real buzzer and a playmaker. So many good performances. I know everyone's going to say, what about me? What about this guy? There are so many. We had an amazing connection on the weekend at the winning goal against Rovers. Congratulations to Rovers, who had a great first season in in League One, and they're getting players. There's interest for them, CPL. But Alejandro Portal and Orlandis, they had a connection to players, Cuban players who've had some little stints in CPL. So they linked up for the winning goal. So anyway, what's my point, Reggie? If you're in the area, League One Ontario final at the Ontario Soccer Center. Again, Generation Next, right? Generation Next, the next group.
What time is that on Saturday?
1 p.m., Reg. 1 p.m.
1 p.m. on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't know where the OAC Center is, shame on you if you're listening. But yeah, go down there and take a look at, like Joe said, what's next, right? It's a lot of players that are in the MLS that are now household names that might have even, be playing for the national team have come from there. So
yeah, and these are two groups, guys. The two teams. It's not only about Vaughan. Oakville Blue Devils, like I said, won the League One twice. And again, if you win League One, you get to participate in the Canadian Championship, which is a pretty cool thing, and play against the Whitecaps and TFC and CF Montreal. So again, a lot of players played in this. Kyle Laren played in this championship game. Dane St. Clair, Kamal Miller, and so on. So anyhow, a lot of other players too. But go check it out. We're always telling you about what's next and so on, and that's what we do here. Reggie, we did a lot.
Did a ton, Joe. Did a ton. Over an hour we did. So, we put in the work. We give you a little bit of food for thought, I hope. And then, we do it all again next week. So I know you're looking forward to Inter versus Milan. I'm looking forward to United. I know you are, Joe, stop. And I know I'm looking forward to United Arsenal and whatever good games are on this weekend as well. So I'll be glued in front of the TV. Guys, we're still on Spotify. We're still on Stitcher, TuneIn, Player FM. We're on everything that you use to download podcasts. We are on YouTube, where you're seeing this now. And for our live shows, we are also streaming live to YouTube and live to Twitch. So if you're not following us on either platform, go follow us on both. It only helps us, grow the show and get bigger, and we can bring you even more content. So Joe, if you have nothing else to say, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Come on, you Gunners.